In the history of homeopathy, few names shine as brightly as Dr. James Tyler Kane. He was not just a physician, he was a philosopher, teacher, and the reformer who shaped the foundation of modern classical homeopathy. When homeopathy was facing confusion and division of the late 19th century, Kane brought a clarity through his deep understanding of Hahnemann's principles, his teachings, his philosophy, and especially his repertory transformed the way the remedies are selected even today. Let us explore the life and contribution of this extraordinary homeopath. When we speak about the preservation and systematization of the classical homeopathy after Hahnemann, one name stands prominently, that is Dr. James Tyler Kane. He was born on March 31, 1849 in New York. Kane was initially trained in conventional medicine. However, a turning point in his life came when his wife, suffering from severe illness, recovered under the homeopathic treatment. This experience transformed him from a skeptic into a devoted follower of homeopathy. Deeply influenced by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, Kane dedicated himself to understanding the philosophical foundations of the organon. He believed that disease is not merely physical pathology but a dynamic disturbance of the vital force. According to him, symptoms are outward expression of internal disorder, and true cure must follow natural laws from within outward, from above downward, and in reverse order of symptoms appearance. Kane's greatest contribution to homeopathy was his systematic and structured approach. His repertory of homeopathic materia medica reorganizes the symptoms in a clear hierarchy, placing the mental symptoms at the top, followed by generals, and then comes the particulars. This hierarchy changed the method of repertorization forever. He emphasized that the totality of symptoms must be evaluated according to their importance, not merely their numbers. In his lecture on homeopathic philosophy, Kane offered a deep interpretation of Hahnemann's principles, making complex concepts understandable to students. His lectures on materia medica presented remedies as a living personalities, highlighting their constitutional nature rather than isolated symptoms. Kane strongly advocated single remedy, minimum dose, high potency, and strict individualization. At a time when homeopathy faced internal divisions, he stood firmly for purity of principles. He passed away in 1916, but his influence remains alive in every repertory-based prescription even today. Modern classical homeopathy, especially the constitutional prescribing, carries the unmistakable imprint of Kane's thought. To study Kant is not merely to study a historical figure, it is to understand the structural backbone of classical homeopathy. Now we will see the concluding part. Dr. James Tyler Kane was not merely a repertoryist, he was a philosopher who preserved and refined the scientific and spiritual framework of homeopathy. His synthesis of philosophy, materia medica, and repertory created a structured methodology that continues to guide clinical practice even today. To understand Kent is to understand the intellectual backbone of classical homeopathy. Even after more than a century, every serious student of homeopathy must pass through the Kent because of his work forms the bridge between Hahnemannian organon and modern clinical repertorization. Thank you.